protein pancake recipe. What you'll need: some vanilla whey protein. This is just regular canned pumpkin. Eggs. I prefer the old-fashioned oats. Some cottage cheese. You can do non-fat or low-fat depending on your macros. And then for toppings on your pancakes, personally, I like using, I can't believe it's not butter. I'm a fan, sorry, yep, I can't believe it's not butter. And then I'm a fan of almond butter, but you can use peanut butter. And then your favorite low-calorie syrup. If you're dieting, then that Walden Farms will probably be your best option. Just remember, guys, for this recipe, this is something where you can customize it to your macros. You're going to see me make this a very more like calorie dense type recipe. So, you know, for eggs and stuff, you can use egg whites as opposed to whole eggs. You can do like one egg white. You can do, you know, 1 serving of oats. I'm going to do 2. You can do a half serving of whey, a half serving of pumpkin. This is a type of recipe where you can kind of individualize it to your macros, but since I'm in a gaining phase, and usually for this meal I like a lot of calories and fat in my very first meal. I like using up a lot of my fat, so I'm going to do like 3 to 4 whole eggs. I'm going to do 2 servings of oats, a full serving of whey. If I have it in here, this bag's about gone. I stole it from the girlfriend, but don't tell her. Full serving of pumpkin, and I'm going to do a full serving of, and this is even regular 4%, you know, cottage cheese. And then I'll probably do a good half serving of almond butter and a half serving of pancake syrup. So these are very calorie dense type pancakes. They're going to be very thick, so let's get this rolling. Oh, also too, if you have a mixer, use that. I personally have a food processor that I like using. If any of you guys remember from my last prep, it's kind of funny, I literally bought this food processor just so I could rice cauliflower, because I started when my macros were poverty status. I started making cauliflower crust pizzas, and I tried doing it in my Magic Bullet, my blender, and I just couldn't get the consistency that I wanted for the cauliflower. So that's why I needed one of these food processors, and it rices up the cauliflower perfect. So this is definitely a great investment food processor if you're a person that does a lot of, you know, recipes and stuff like that. Definitely one of the things that I had to dust off here recently for these pancakes, but I'm now using this pretty much every day, and I'm kind of hooked on these protein pancakes just because they're just very calorie dense. I'll get like 70, you understand, like, you're doing 2 servings of oats, you're going to get 10 grams of protein here. Doing a serving of cottage cheese, you're going to get like another 12 grams of protein. The protein in your eggs and the whey. This is a very high protein. I think it gets up to, like, for me, with all the ingredients that I do, I think it's like close to 65 to 70 grams of protein in this first meal. So for somebody like me that's eating, you know, 250 grams of protein a day, this really, really helps get a big boost of protein for that first meal. So let's just get this recipe going. What I like to do first is I'm going to take my oats, and I'm going to do 2 servings in the food processor and just kind of get those mixed up, because the oats is going to pretty much kind of act like your, think oat flour is going to act like your flour for your pancakes. So we're going to put 2 servings of oats in this. Let's get this going. All right, guys, so we have the 2 servings of oats in here, 40 grams. All right, guys, so like I said, I have the 2 servings of oats in there. I like starting just to kind of grind these up to start the recipe. So just have this on a low. Guys, so after about 30 seconds, in the food processor, you can see it's kind of more of a flour consistency. Yes, there's going to still be some stuff that's not fully processed, but that's good enough. So, all right, guys, so your next step is you're going to want to add in your whey protein, whatever eggs you want to do. Like I said, I'm going to do, I think, about 3 whole eggs in mine, a serving of pumpkin, 120 grams there, and then a whole serving of cottage cheese. And again, this is going to be where you're going to kind of have to figure out, depending on your macros, if you want to use, you know, half serving of this, you know, 1 whole egg, 1 egg white, maybe just a half serving here. you know, maybe you want to do a full serving of whey. This is where you kind of customize it to your macros. But again, for some of you guys that are bulking and you need a lot of calories, like I said, my recommendation is 1 serving of whey, whole serving of pumpkin, 2 to 3 whole eggs, whole serving of cottage cheese. So, and then like I said, I did 2 servings of the. All right, so we have all the ingredients in there, and luckily I had just enough of for 1 serving of whey. So you got the pumpkin in there, the eggs, the serving of cottage cheese. Now let's just take this, put it back on the food processor, so we can get this mixed up. I like using just a loaf for this, just so you keep the batter nice and thick. Personally, I like my pancakes thicker, so these are going to be more thicker pancakes. If you like the recipe, or if you'd like thinner pancakes, you could kind of adjust the recipe to have it more liquidy. You could add in some almond milk or something that would help. But let's get this going. Here's your mixed up pancake batter. All right, next up, guys, have a pan out. I personally do a medium heat for these. Make sure you have a spatula, and then your favorite, whatever you want to use, no calorie, non-stick cooking spray. So I'm going to use some canola on here and get the pan nice and lubricated so the pancakes don't stick to the pan. And also, pretty much for every pancake, I'll kind of reapply the canola oil to make sure the pancakes don't stick. All right, guys, once you have your pan heated up, you're going to apply, I just used a spoon. I'm going to apply the batter to the pan. All right, guys, I have my batter on the pan, and cooking-wise, what I do is I do about a minute on each side. So it kind of helps sometimes to, you know, take your timer and just set it for a minute, so you kind of realize after a minute you need to flip your pancakes. But you kind of, once you start seeing them kind of bubble and stuff like that, it kind of gives you a good idea. Because you want to make sure that you don't burn them, but then again too, you want to make sure that they're cooked enough to the point where when you flip it, it's not still going to be a batter, so it's going to make a huge mess. I've done it a million times, so let's see after a minute how these turn out. Okay, guys, our timer is going off. Let's see if I can manage to film and flip at the same time, and let's see if I timed these right. Looks good so far, and then here for the flip. Boom. There you go. Once again, guys, turn your timer off. Again, you're going to do another minute on this side. Then that should be good. So again, these are, it's kind of hard to tell, but I'll kind of show you guys a kind of a side angle once these are done. These are definitely a thicker type pancake. The way I did the batter. So again, if you want them to be thinner, then you're going to want to add more liquid or do less, you know, oats, maybe less cottage cheese. It'll be kind of a thinner pancake. But I like mine like thicker and fluffy. So I'll flip this after a minute, and this one will be good to go. This batter makes a good amount of pancakes. You're probably going to get a good, if you do this size, which you'll see, it's probably about, I don't know, 5 inches long, 5 by 5 or so size pancake here. I'm not using a huge skillet, but this batter will make a good, you know, 4 to 5 pancakes. So definitely a nice filling breakfast. Timer is off after another minute. Let's kind of flip this and see how this pancake turned out. Boom, there you go. So there's pancake 1. Take that, put her on your plate, and then repeat the step. Again, I'm going to use some more each pancake just to make sure it doesn't stick. Reapply the cooking spray. So let's get these cooked up and we'll see the final result. Pancakes are done. As you see, I kind of made these ones a little bit browner, so they're not as light as this one. So some may say these are a little burnt. I don't think they're burnt. I think they taste fine. But so this made kind of 4 pancakes. You see, they're not all the same size, but you get the point. So again, this is individual, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some, I can't believe it's not butter spray. Gonna add probably about a half serving of almond butter, and then this is just a lighter version of pancake syrup that I'm gonna put. And there you go. Got the almond butter on there, got the syrup on there. One thing I like doing personally is I'll take this and I'll put it in the microwave for a good, I don't know, 15-20 seconds, just so everything is nice and warm, kind of melts the almond butter a little bit. But here you go, guys. I'm kind of trying to show you too that, see, these are definitely more of a fluffy, this one's not the best one, but this one kind of gives you a better idea. This is definitely a thicker type pancake, so Again, guys, totally calorie packed. Like I said, you got with the whey protein and the eggs and the cottage cheese, all that stuff. These are very calorie dense. I will put the macros in the description box for you guys, so you know exactly with the ingredients that I did, what the macros are. All right, guys. Hope you enjoy.